Hi everyone, my name is Wesley Shaw and I will be sharing my interpersonal communications project on empathetic listening. Empathetic listening is one of the most powerful yet overlooked communication skills we can develop. And it's not just about hearing someone's words, it's about understanding their emotions, their point of view, and showing them that you truly care. And in this presentation, I'll walk through my journey of learning how to listen with empathy, including my goals, the research I found, and the steps I took to evaluate my plan. Like I said, the goal of this project was to become a more empathetic listener. And before I started this, I thought I was a good listener. I'd nod, make eye contact, and I'd remember what people said, but I started to notice that I often listened with the intent to respond, not with the intent to understand. For example, when I think of my wife, I often listen, but right away I jump in to find a problem or to fix something that she said. So my purpose was clear. I wanted to be fully present without interrupting. I also recognized what held me back. Multitasking, social media, distractions, work, school were all things that continue to take my attention. So I need to learn to slow down and learn what it means to really listen. So what is empathetic listening? Empathetic listening is really a lot more than just hearing words. It's actually the process that cognitively and emotionally connects us with the speaker. According to Weiger, empathetic listening includes 3 parts: paying full attention, withholding judgment, and responding in a way that shows understanding. The research found that empathetic listening improves relationships satisfaction and reduces conflict escalation. Bodie adds that empathetic listening is tied to perceived social support. When people feel listened to, they are less stressed and feel closer to you. Floyd also points out that empathetic listening helps repair relationships. It builds trust and builds understanding. I also found that Bodie discovered listeners who paraphrase and reflect feelings are considered more emotionally intelligent. So in short, research shows that empathetic listening is not passive, it's active. And that's what makes it so hard. The difficulty of this is what allowed me to create my action plan. Here were the steps that I decided to put into place. Before I respond, I need to pause. I need to wait a little bit. And then I can respond. I often need to resist the urge that I have to jump in quickly. I used, when paraphrasing, short reflections like, so what I hear you're saying is, or it sounds like you're feeling, rather than actually mentioning what the person was feeling. I need to focus on the speaker fully, and I don't need to evaluate emotions. I need to validate them. I decided that the advice of Rogers and Farson is true. I need to encourage others to open up more deeply. I started this process with my wife, and it's hard. Not been easy, and that's okay. My goal wasn't for perfection, it was for progress. And I wanted to increase the number of times that I listened without interrupting to make others feel genuinely heard. And I defined my success as being able to do this a couple of times a week. Now, over the course of this, I did notice change, and at first, like I said, it was difficult because I would interrupt. I would go back to my old habits, and I already knew that it was wrong, but it was still difficult. But by week 2, I started to notice that when I slowed down and focused on listening, conversations just felt different, and people opened up more. Like I said, my wife, I had a conversation with her, and when I was able to sit without talking and listen, she was able to connect with me much easier. That moment helped me realize the power of empathetic listening, because no, I didn't solve her problem, but I was able to help her feel understood. Empathetic listening also reduces misunderstandings. When conflicts came up, I was better at staying curious rather than defensive, which is something that I've always struggled with. I go straight to the defensive side, even though I know I have done nothing wrong. As I had said, the hardest thing that I had to do was to stop interrupting people, and it took a lot of effort to pause and let that happen. There were also moments when I doubted if this is actually legit and if it's actually real. So I found myself falling back into these old patterns and picking up my phone to fill the space. But instead of getting discouraged, I used each failure as motivation. To conclude this short video, I learned that empathetic listening isn't natural to me, and it's something that takes daily practice. I recognize that I have to slow down and I have to be more patient in order to become empathetic. I'm not good at this yet, but I do feel that I have made a lot of progress, and I am thankful for the progress that has been made. Because when we listen with empathy, we don't just hear others, we truly understand them. And the understanding is what turns communication into connection, and connection into relationship. Thank you for listening to this short video. I hope that you are able to discover something interesting and unique.